In the November release, we have also added a couple of UX improvements. So the first one is, in addition to our bookmark menu, what we're doing here is we're automatically including all boards that you are adding to your workspace in the bookmark menu. So you don't have to set separate bookmarks for them. So if I want to jump to the active board, for example, I will get here automatically. And if I zoom out, you can see that there is no bookmark set. So even if I move this to a different location now and go to the bookmark menu again and jump to the active board, it will automatically get me there. So that's a quick way to reorganize the workspaces and not have to manually update bookmarks in the workspace. The second one is a feature for the Hoylu planning module, and that's the ability to spread out tasks in weeks if they're overlapping. So especially if you're importing tasks via CSV, very often something like this can happen, where all of the tasks are kind of located on top, and it's especially annoying if they have already been set to complete or incomplete because you can't move them anymore. So what we have added is the ability to spread out elements. So if I click this, what will happen is I basically move all of the tasks for that particular swim lane into a layout like this. And as you move through the plan, you can continue to do that to get a nice overview of all the different elements. Next up is the ability to show the variance reasons, and if someone made changes to a task that was not assigned to the trade, you can now make those show up directly on the tasks themselves. So double click. You can see this one here, for example, is an incomplete task that was related to weather. And for admins, we have introduced task display settings, similar to what we have with agility tasks. If I open it up, we have moved this mandatory checks into that dialog as well. And now I can enable variance reasons, as well as last edited on the task. Edited is not set on that particular one, but it's enabled, and you can see that weather shows up on the task itself. So it's a quicker way to spot the variance reasons. And then we have two additions in the Insights panel. We have a couple of new statistics, and you can also do more things with the labels. So let's take a look at the Insights panel here. So previously, what we had already had is the number of tests, the overall PPC, as well as the plan effort. And this is a good example of where the plan effort doesn't make a lot of sense, because the plan effort is accumulated number of hours or days on all of the tasks multiplied by the number of people assigned to that task. However, if you haven't used or haven't assigned any people to those tasks yet, like this case here, that will basically sum up to 0. So what we have introduced is two new metrics. The first one is plan duration. So that's just summing up all of the days where activities happen. And that can be 5 tasks, that can be 1. And if you hover over the number, you can also see the first and last day of the particular project. The second metric is a sum of all of the durations of the tasks combined. So that does not take into account how many people are assigned to it, just basically looks at all the tasks and sums them up. So this one here has a total of 261 days planned for all of the tasks, and that's spread out over a total of 40 days. Some more high-level insights for you to work with. And then looking at the additional labels here. So what we have done is added variance reasons. That is a label now on the task as a way to filter here as well. So we previously had the variance reasons here, but there was no way to find out more information, how that happened, where that happened. So now, if you filter by that specific reason back here, so let's take a look at weather, for example. you can see that it basically shows up for those 4 tasks, and coincidentally, all of them are assigned to a single trade, in that case, carpenter. So that allows you to go a little bit deeper on the analysis for individual variance reasons. If they happen with specific trades, how they happen all the time. So it's just an easier way to kind of look at the different elements one by one. And if you'd like to have that information in the weekly work plan, there's an option for that as well. So in the weekly work plan, a week where we have some content like this. You can also show labels. So you can see in this case, those were all modified. So those were imported tasks that were modified, and we also have variance reasons on some of them. So that's something you can now optionally include in the PDF report as well. And that concludes the updates for this release.